Hello, fellow chefs and want-to-be chefs. Welcome to Moni Cooks a Lot. And today, amazing! It's gonna be tamales. It's gonna be tamales. So, I am going to show you step by step. This recipe is spinach and cheese tamales, and I kind of, I always do a twist on it, so I always can claim it my own. So I looked at the recipe and then I just kind of switched some things up. So I do spinach and cheese, and then I also do either a rotisserie chicken if I don't have time, or right now, as you see, I am boiling some chicken. If you guys see that? Almost done. And actually I didn't have chicken breast, so I'm using wings. And I put it in water, and then I put oregano. I put, let's see, onion, and what else? Some garlic also, and a bay leaf. So I let that boil for 15 minutes. It's still working on it. And then you know what the beautiful thing is? I will debone that, and then I will have a chicken broth to put in my tamale masa, the dough. So, okay, here are my husks, and different regions use different leaves or husks, and I just buy a big bag of husks in anywhere, usually Safeway, Walmart, wherever you're living, and I put them in a bowl, and it depends how many you're going to make is how much you want the husks to use, because they don't save well. If you keep them in water too long, they mold. So I put them in the bowl. And then I put warm water, just like so. And I usually just boil it for a little bit, like that. And then I smush it down. I'm gonna burn my hand, right? Eeks. There you go. So you let them soak. And I usually do it for a day, because I like them really soft. You do not want tough, hard husks. That is too hard to work with. So I let those sit for like overnight or for 24 hours, and I will get back to you. Hello, welcome back. Now is another step to tamale making. So here's the chicken that you saw me boiling before, and I will take the meat off of the bone and chop it really nicely, and I'll show you that later in another step, but I will let that cool a little bit longer. Next step is a pan this size. Then you will be needing 3 tablespoons of oil. I usually use canola or corn, so 3 tablespoons, and you will be heating that up. Stir it around just so. Next, okay, while that's heating, I'll explain some of the other things. Is I will be putting first the onion in, and this is actually it should be one small one, but I had a bigger one, so I just cut it in half. So either one small one or half of a large white onion. And it's an interesting thing, white onion has a different flavor than yellow. It's just different, and I use with Mexican meals or recipes, I tend to use the white. So it's pretty warm right now, and on medium heat. So you will be stirring that. You'll be stirring that until it is translucent, which basically means you can see through the onion, and you will heat that up and just keep stirring it so that you make sure it does not burn. So just stir until it looks pretty clear. Get back to you. Okay, welcome back. So now there is my onion. It is, you hear that sizzle? Oh yes, and here I go again, but it smells amazing. Heck yes. So now you are going to put 1 pound of fresh spinach or 1 pound of frozen. And interesting enough, I actually was told by a health consultant, health coach, that she actually says sometimes she prefers frozen better because once it comes from the farmer, they freeze it, and so as soon as it's cut, so that actually sometimes is a lot fresher, and so I vary it. Sometimes I use fresh and sometimes frozen, but today I'm going to give an example of frozen spinach. And so basically you are going to stir this until it's de-thawed, or if you have fresh spinach, you do it until it gets wilty. Wilty, you know what that means? Wilty. Is that in the dictionary? So wilty means it looks kind of soggy. It's not really attractive, but it tastes so good. So you will stir this until it's de-thawed and or wilty. You like that? Okay, I'm gonna get back to you. Hello again, welcome back. So today, right now, I see this is what wilty is. Remember how I told you wilty? Can you see it? Very, very soft, and so it nicely heated through. Then, this is 2 finely chopped tomatoes. Make sure that you don't, make sure they're not very big because they're put inside the dough or the masa, and it gets kind of not very good if they get like a lot of big bites of the tomato. You want to cut it up pretty nicely. And once again, you can do fresh tomatoes or canned tomatoes. It's up to you. It pretty much tastes the same. Some people may argue that point, but I think the canned ones are nice too because we don't have time to cut too much because it takes a while. So you heat that up for a little bit. Then rock salt, of course. Then you will be seasoning this to your taste buds on how you like it, because once again, people like a lot of pepper. Some people don't like salt at all, and I always use my garlic salt. I love garlic salt. And I also put a little bit, probably like a teaspoon of oregano in there. And then you merely just stir it a little bit. And what you're gonna do next is let it cool off. And honestly, my tamales take a couple of days. So I actually put this in the fridge, and then I let it cool off, and then so while it's in the fridge, I make the masa, the dough, and I'm going to show you how to do that next, okay? So you can turn off the heat there and just let it cool off, or you can put it in the fridge however much time you have, okay? I'll get back to you. Hello, welcome back. So today I'm going to share you another step in tamales. As you have not realized this, there are a lot of steps. So I put in like 1 or 2, like 1 tablespoon of oil into a pan. Get it heated up. And if you recall, I was boiling chicken, and so I cut up like diced chicken, like just like that. You can use chicken breast, you can use thigh, you can use wings, you can use shredded chicken from a can. So this is just something that I add with spinach and cheese, and sometimes I don't even add the chicken. I just vary it. So I'm going to, see, it's nicely diced, and then I just let it sit in there, and that is approximately 2 large half chicken breasts. And once again, it depends how much chicken or how many tamales you're making. And this recipe that I'm showing you is 30 medium-sized tamales. So if you're having a big party, you can double it, you can triple it, or you can reduce it and just cut everything in half. So don't feel like you don't want to make it just because it's too much. And you know, a really great thing, you'll see, I always have these tips and tricks, don't I? So a great thing is that you don't steam the tamales, and you can put them in the freezer and then bring them out and freshly steam them. So that's a little treat for you, because sometimes you don't want to eat them all at once. So these are a couple of, this is garlic salt. My favorite thing is, if you didn't know that by now, like 4 or 5 shakes. And then you have probably like 1 teaspoon of oregano. Sprinkle that in there. You don't want to add too much seasoning because there is wonderful flavors. That's probably 3/4 teaspoon. Wonderful flavors in the tamale masa. Some pepper, 3-4 sprinkles, a little bit of salt, and that should do it. I was gonna do onion powder, but I didn't. So, just trying to share with you what I'm doing. And so basically you just want to add a little bit of flavor because all I did was boil the chicken and it's kind of blah. So I just add a little bit of Mexican flavors in there and kind of, it depends, here you go, it depends on flavors. I like a little edge to it, and so I'm gonna just kind of stir it around for like 3 or 4 minutes, just enough to get it a little bit of color to it. So I will be back after that is done. Okie dokie. Hello. Okay, so the chicken, it has a nice brown on it. You can see that? So that's ready. I'm gonna let that cool off a little bit so I don't burn my hands. So this is when the fun begins. Here is my masa. You can buy this pretty much at any store. It is called maseca. And anyways, so this recipe for 30 tamales requires 7 cups of this masa. And you know what's interesting is because I follow the rules or the instructions to make tortillas. And so here it says 2 cups equals 1.5 cups of water. But here's my spin. So I do 8 cups and I do chicken broth because as you saw, I boiled the chicken. So right here, and this smells amazing, is I actually heated it up a little bit because it smells nicer and it actually mixes a little bit nicer because it's warm. So I have 6 cups of chicken broth, homemade chicken broth, yes. So I pour a little bit at a time. And this one, you can either use a mixer, but I use my hands because it gives more of a texture to it. So I just start slowly like that. A little bit, you don't want it too watery, so you mix a little bit at a time. And you know what's interesting? Have you noticed? Uh-oh, I have no rings on because, you want to hear a funny story, is I made it a long time ago and I had my engagement ring my lovely husband gave me. Oh shoot. So I was making tamales and I didn't notice, but it was in one of the tamales that I made. I noticed it later, and ironically, I made those tamales for a Spanish class. So all the students tried the tamales. Somebody got a ring. What? And no one even gave it back. Oh, it was so pretty. It was like a sapphire. It was gorgeous. So anyways, that is a reason why not to wear jewelry or rings when mixing your masa. So as you see, it's starting to come together and you just got to keep kneading it and kneading it. And so I'm going to finish this with the rest of the chicken broth and then I'll get back to you, okay? Make sure it's really nicely mixed. Hello again. Look at that. So it's like almost like a really soft putty. That is the consistency you want, and that is after, I don't know, like 5 minutes of kneading. So now your next step, are you ready? Are you ready? So we have 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Kind of sprinkle that, and you do it not all at the same time. You need to put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, so it properly mixes. So, and then you get your spinach that you created in the last steps. So once again, little by little, because if you put it all together, it just does not come out right. So that was your spinach that you did, and look at this, wow. 4.5 sticks of butter. I use unsalted because we don't like it so salty. So it's really soft, I love it. I have it, it's warm here, so it's beautiful. And if it's too cold where you are, you can melt it a little bit. And I have 2 cups of Monterrey cheese, and I use quesadilla cheese because the shredding is really fine. You can shred it yourself also. And see, once again, I'm doing a little bit, and then I start to mix like so. And so once you have it mixed nicely, you keep adding the ingredients. So should I go over it again? 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 4.5 sticks of unsalted butter. It's a different spin because a lot of tamales have like lard or vegetable shortening. I believe with this recipe, the butter just gives it a different flavor and it really just complements it just so. So see that it's kind of nicely done, and then I just add the rest, just so. And then I grab a little bit more butter. That. And so you just kind of, you just keep adding a little bit at a time until all the ingredients are in the masa, and then I will get back to you once I am done. So go ahead guys, do it! You can do it! Hello, welcome back. So I hope you had fun doing this. Is my last one here. I'm gonna roll it up and place it in my tamale steamer. So, I'm not sure. So I tend to not put them all in because it's good to leave some room in your steamer. So if you're using a pot with a steamer underneath it, whatever you're using, but this was my mom's, so I got lucky. So this is the bottom. I fill it with water, and then I place this over the water. You see that? Next is, and also, this is what I kind of made up, is so they don't fall, I just put a glass in there. There's any kind of like container or something you can put in there that won't burn. So this is made out of porcelain, so I put it in there and it holds the tamales up because you don't want them to fall down. You want them to be standing up that way. That makes sense. So here we go. So kind of don't crowd them, and then if you can find something to put inside your steamer, that works. And you turn it on, of course. Put the top on, so make sure it's sealed so it has that beautiful steam. So these are going to be in there for approximately 90 minutes on a medium heat. And I would check on them, and the way that you know that they're done is that you pull the husk away from the masa, the dough, and it comes off nicely. So if it's still stuck on the husk, you don't want to stop the heat. So just keep checking them after 90 minutes and make sure that your water does not go away. So that's why I like this, it holds a lot of water. So if you can get this, it's amazing. And if not, you can just put a bowl with like a steamer underneath there. So 90 minutes and check it. So pull away from the husk, and if it pulls away nicely, it's done, ready to go. I'll get back to you. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, it's been 90 minutes. So make sure you got your gloves on because it's getting really, really hot. So all the steam comes out. Be super careful. I hate to admit it, but yes, I have burned myself. So you live and learn, right? So I take the whole thing off the burner, like so. Turn the heat off. Look at that steam come through. Oh yeah, amazing. So you gotta check it, and it pulls right off. You can see that. It pulls right off like that. That's beautiful. So 90 minutes exactly. So I let that cool off, just room temperature, and then once they're all cooled off, I put them in a plastic bag and deliver to the people that love these. And I recommend serving it hot and cover with like a fresh salsa, which I have in my YouTube, or like a Mexican cream, a thick cream. And of course, refried beans and red rice. And the beans recipe is coming up also. That's my mom's special thing, her refried beans. So I hope you enjoyed that. Spinach and cheese and chicken tamales. Delicious for any occasion. Cinco de Mayo, Christmas, New Year's, you name it. So after these cool off, actually, I'm going to put another batch in. So I hope you enjoyed, and have an amazing day, and enjoy, and share, and share, and share. All right, thanks.